If there was a relatively monthly fan manga to geek over right now, I would have to say it's the story of the multiversal war involving the entire god realm accompanied by just insane art, Dragonball Kakumi. In the most previous chapters, we were shown just what the ramifications of using the Super Dragon Balls could be, as the wish at the end of the Tournament of Power may have done much more harm than good. The wish to revive all of the erased universes unleashed a power sealed for millennia, as Kansei, the mother of the angels, along with the former angels and gods of universes 13 through 19, appeared in the god realm again. As they approached the Grand Priest, the resurrected gods and angels greeted their brothers and sisters, but a plan for devastation was in their future. Exposing the Grand Priest for the treasons he committed on them by sealing them away unknowingly by Zeno, Kansei and the others promised to wage war on both the mortal and god realms, forcing everyone to choose a side. This caused the Grand Priest, using one of his many powers, to freeze the former gods and angels in time, but his seal would only last a period of 2 years at best. Immediately, the Grand Priest makes an announcement to the entire multiverse, throughout every universe in existence, warning those of the mortal and god realms of the upcoming war. Although the opponent is of the mightiest in existence, the mortals have no plans of backing down, as all over the multiverse, preparations began. However, one person still remained absent. Goku, unfortunately, after being allowed to investigate the mysterious Universe Zero by himself, was taken captive for entering the hideout of the former angels, and when the Grand Priest sealed them once more, along with the universe, Goku was incited as well. This put Universe 7 in quite the predicament, as everyone else was forced to step up now in Goku's absence, although they would eventually be forced to fight regardless. In the meantime, Gohan would assist the Earthlings in getting their training set up for the next 2 years. However, he has his own plans as well, as we see him taking a trip to the distant Universe 11, seeking assistance from the Pride Troopers. Vegeta would take a much more direct approach as he traveled to Universe 6 in order to train with his people, the Saiyans of planet Sadala. When he got there and met with the king, there was immediate tension in the room, as Vegeta comes strictly for business and seems to have no interest in making friends, a sure way to come off rude in the face of the king. However, eventually, the king agrees to assist Vegeta and gives him the opportunity to lead his people. "Listen to me," King Sadala roars over the crowd of Saiyans in the valley as Chapter 5 of Kakumi begins. "All Saiyan people, I and your ancestors fought to make peace speak, but those days are unfortunately over. All of us were shocked by the announcement from the Grand Priest, and we must prove that we know how to defend ourselves against these fomenters of revolt. We Saiyans are a people who live in the facts, not in the dreamlike conception of this world around us. So raise your fist and please welcome the heir to the neighboring universe. Let us fight hand in hand. Let's fight for our own, and glory be to our people," he roars as the Saiyans erupt in cheers around them. Things seem to be going pretty smoothly for now on planet Sadala, but just how long can Vegeta's pride coexist among these proud Saiyans as well is a whole nother question. If you guys have been loving this series and want to check out Dragonball Kakumi for yourselves, the link to Renko's Twitter will be down below, so be sure to go follow them and keep showing your support for these projects, guys. Also be sure to go show Renko some additional love, as he has been down a little recently, but let's all pray for a speedy recovery. Don't forget to turn those notifications on down below by clicking the bell icon to never miss an upload as soon as they go live. And if you haven't already, consider leaving a like on this video as well, it really helps out a ton. Be sure to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all Dragon Ball and anime related content. But without further ado, Two days later, as we see the Capsule Corp ship flying through space, it looks like they finally arrived at their destination. "And that's it," Jaco says as they land and exit the ship. "Not bad here," he goes on. "Sure is a change from your rotten planets." "Remind me to never try Broly's food again," Bulma says, looking sick, along with Chile and Limo as well as they exit the ship next. "And now, find Vegeta," Jaco says to a little android in his hand. The gadget sprouts a camera and then flies off, patrolling the planet for any signs of Vegeta. Well, in the meantime, maybe you'd all like something to eat, Jaco says, relishing in his own greatness for some reason. However, the others aren't really too sure about this alien food too much anymore. As they begin to walk into town, Jaco spots a kebab stand as the butcher beheads some strange looking fish. "Hello friend," Jaco says, approaching the stand. "We're 5. Can we eat?" "What can I get you?" the chef asks. As they all take a look at the menu, each choosing different things, it seems like Broly needs a little help as he doesn't quite understand what he's looking at here. All of a sudden, the droid sent across the planet to locate Vegeta gains a visual on him, alerting Jaco that he's been found. "Vegeta located," the AI says, with Jaco replying, "Perfect, send me his location." But it's at this moment that Vegeta absolutely blasts the droid to smithereens, cutting off contact with Jaco mid-transmission. After noticing they've completely lost contact, Jaco goes into a tirade about having to pay for that device, of course. "I've already bought everyone around him drinks while Bulma's loaded," Jaco says. "I'm really gonna end up broke with these guys." "Go and get it yourself," Bulma barks at him, "otherwise you're not that broke." "I really have to take care of everything," Jaco says as he flies off, following Bulma's orders. "It's getting boring, what a chore." A few hours prior at Gohan's house, Piccolo has shown up to their door, greeting the family and wishing Gohan the best of luck on his training. "Train hard, Gohan," Piccolo says, as Gohan tells him to count on him. "By the way, Videl," Piccolo says, "why don't I take Pan to meditate or even train with me?" "Come on, Piccolo, I hope you're joking," Videl replies. "I trained Gohan when he was only 4 years old," Piccolo says to her, reminiscing on the time he and Gohan spent sparring and bonding while Goku was dead. "Well, those days are over," Videl says to him angrily. "Thanks, but bye." She slams the door in his face, a bit aggressive, but a mother's child is just that, a mother's child. "Maybe next time," Piccolo says, smiling as he walks away, being used to this type of reaction, already having known Chi-Chi for so long. "Good. Gohan, get ready," Videl says. "We're about to go join Vegeta and Bulma." "What's wrong with Mom?" Pan asks, "and where'd Piccolo go?" "Come on, time for your nap, Pan," Videl calls. "Well, you'll see," Gohan says. "I'm sure you'll be just like her when you grow up." In bed now, we can see Pan, who is supposed to be sleeping, up reading a book actually. Someone walks up to her door, so she quickly shuts her lamp off and pretends to be asleep. "Pan?" Gohan says as he walks in checking on his daughter. He notices the book on the floor and smiles, sitting on the bed beside her. "You were still up reading, weren't you?" he says as Pan starts fake snoring. "You know," Gohan tells her, "there's no point in pretending to be asleep with me, and you snore so badly." She sits up, apologizing for trying to trick him as he tells her, "Listen, honey, what I'm about to tell you is really important and will be useful for the rest of your life. People will always try to impose their vision on you, but what really matters is what you want inside. So never let anyone tell you what to do. You're pure of heart, and I'm sure you'll never hurt anyone," he says. "Why are you saying these weird words, Dad?" Pan says, confused. "Oh, it is true you are only 3 years old," Gohan says, with Pan correcting him, saying 3.5 soon actually. "Anyways," Gohan says, chuckling, "sleep well." He gives Pan a kiss and walks out of her room, shutting the door behind him, and as soon as he's gone, Pan gets right back to her reading. Over near the city back in Universe 6, Jaco has finally caught up to Vegeta's crew, landing in front of him. "Hi there, Vegeta," Jaco says angrily. "You don't feel like you've destroyed a very expensive gadget by any chance?" "I don't give a damn about your robot," Vegeta tells him. "What do you want from me?" "What I want," Jaco says, getting increasingly annoyed. "I had to travel for 2 days just for your wife and those 3 scoundrels." Yes," Vegeta says, his entire demeanor changing after realizing Bulma is here and is looking for him now, so they head back to meet up with the other group. "Don't even know why we're here," Caulifla says, complaining as they approach Bulma and the others finally. "There you are," Bulma says, perking up after finally finding Vegeta. "Hi, Kabe," she says, shaking his hand. "It's been a while. Though I don't think I know the both of you." Vegeta never mentioned you before, she says, taking note of Kale and Caulifla now. Not cool, Caulifla says, getting increasingly annoyed herself now at the situation. I didn't really want to bother my wife talking about such gross people as you, Vegeta replies, somehow making an awkward situation even more awkward by causing Caulifla to just get so irritated that she finally leaves. Bulma gives Vegeta quite the glare, with Kaba noticing as well, saying how it looks like it's about time for him to get home too. Only cowards on this planet, Vegeta says, as only Kale remains now with them, not having left with Caulifla. You know, I think I should probably go too, Kale says nervously, almost on cue, but Bulma reassures her that if she leaves, who's gonna guide them around? And it'll be fun. However, the next interaction seems to instantly change Kale's mind. As Kale and Broly lock eyes for the very first time, something clicks as the two make an instant connection that will become more apparent in due time. Hello, Chile says, getting a bit jealous now. I'm still here. My name is Broly, and you are? Broly says to Kale, still ignoring Chile. Kale, she replies. How long are you gonna keep ignoring me, Chile says. That's okay, I don't have anything better to do, Kale says, doing a complete 180 with Bulma being overjoyed now. We can go see the downtown too if you want, she says. I honestly thought this next panel was pretty cute as well, with Chile just showing a bunch of jealousy right now and Broly just being completely oblivious to it all. That's it, Kale says as they approach the downtown district finally. It's pretty small in there, she tells them, with Broly being amazed at how beautiful the city is. I was expecting more, Jocko says, with Chile agreeing, still jealous. As they overlook the city, Broly is engulfed at the sight of Saiyan culture, something he'd never been able to be exposed to or experience up until really meeting Goku and Vegeta, I guess. Where do you come from actually, Kel asks. I mean, how are things on your home planet? To be honest, I've never actually done anything other than hunting, Broly tells her. There's neither people nor much to do on my home planet. But there is Chile and I love her, Broly says, hoisting Chile up on his shoulders. As they enter the downtown district, Broly is amazed at all of these people and the life that they live here. What are you guys doing? He says, walking up to two kids playing in the sand. We're playing the game where the first to blink loses, the boy says. What's this for? Broly says, going up to a Ferris wheel next. I mean, we can fly. Wow, that hat looks really fancy on you, miss, he says, going up to another random person, and it's just cool to see Broly just enjoying Planet Sadala and being around his people. All of a sudden, this is when a random guy sitting with a few friends calls him over. Can't you see you're on our territory, muscle man, the second guy says. Not only do they get the fame, the third guy says, but they're stealing our females as well. Now when this guy says this, Bulma unleashes a furious slap across all three of their faces, asking, and you think this is how you treat females? Be gone now, she tells them, causing them to scurry away in quite a hurry. Well said, Bulma, Chile says, giving her a thumbs up of approval. Little brats like that really get on my nerves, she says. Seems like it doesn't really change no matter what universe you're in. Though, Broly, they were kinda right, she goes on. You shouldn't walk around shirtless, it's inappropriate. This seems to be music to Chile's ears as she agrees. So Bulma searches her jacket for some form of armor or something Broly can put on. Perfect, she says, finding something. Here goes my new capsule technology. Though we will have to get rid of this little sneaky thing, she says as she grabs his pelt. Broly immediately tenses up, grabbing her hand, looking every bit of serious all of a sudden. You're hurting me, Bulma says, shocked at his reaction. He can keep it, Kale says. It's not a big deal. If the smell bothers you that much, I know a good perfume maker who's near. Broly loosens up after Kale says that he can keep his pelt, as Bulma apologizes for not being aware that was so important to him. Anyway, put this on your chest, she says, giving him the capsule. Don't worry about it, Broly tells her, as he places the capsule on his chest, with it spawning an entire dry-fit armored Capsule Corp outfit, which is kinda dope if you ask me. It's really tight, Broly says, kind of uncomfortable at first. Oh, don't be such a wimp, Bulma says. It's perfect. I think it fits you well, Chile says, with Broly immediately changing his attitude about it. Over on planet Crepe, home to the new training grounds for Goten and Trunks, we can see Whis reviewing their abilities and assessing just how he should approach their training. Goten and Trunks are definitely enjoying watching the two of them in fused form show off their power, as Whis confirms that, okay, this is about all he needed to see. Finally, we're getting on to the training part, the two say, as they instantly start doing the fusion dance, but Whis stops them in their tracks, telling him that he strictly forbids them to use fusion for now. Allow me to explain the following, Whis goes on. The goal of the first part of this training is to reach Gotenks' maximum level, for the both of you. Otherwise, a power close to your fullest potentials. There will be 3 steps. The first consists of becoming one with your inner selves. To put it simply, you will have to be able to unleash all of your power in one blow, whether that be with physical contact or not. For this, you will have to face your weaknesses, your emotions, and your inner demons. Here's the first exercise. A plastic ball is in the center of this device, and a light will appear either red or green above. When at least one of the sides of the device has been hit, the light will appear red. Furthermore, he goes on, hitting both sides simultaneously will make the light appear green. Therefore, your goal is to activate both red and green lights, and for your hits to be hard enough and of the same intensity, so the ball in the center explodes from the pressure as well. To succeed, rigor, focus, and explosiveness will be needed. Though according to me, the hardest part will still be the perfect synchronization needed for the ball to explode. Whis creates another giant device before them after this explanation, telling them now it's their turn, as Goten and Trunks dive headfirst into their training with an angel. Attention, Vegeta calls over the army of Saiyans before him. The training will now start. You lot are the 5th squad, remember it well. You already know the 3 admirals standing beside me, he continues. Admiral Ruba, the most powerful man on the planet, he says, introducing his admirals. Admiral Lariak, experienced strategist and a bold warrior, the man who's won a battle without mobilizing a single soldier. And Admiral Ganel, best of the best when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. She successfully dismantled 182 smuggling rings. If I were you, I wouldn't try to hide anything from her. You will make 4 mixed groups. Each group will go in front of one of the admirals or myself. Have I been clear, Vegeta says, as the crowd replies, yes sir. Not good enough for him, however, as he commands a louder response. Have I been clear, he repeats, as he receives a resounding yes sir from the crowd. Oh, I feel like I'm going to enjoy this job, Vegeta says with a proud smile on his face. Poma and Jocko just disgusted at his big-headedness as they watch from afar. What are you looking at, Caulifla says, punching one of the guys in the back of the head for messing with her. Obviously, Vegeta has next to no idea how to deal with Caulifla and her rebellious nature, already seeing that this is going to be a continuous problem now as he complains about her already acting up. I'll have to be smart with this one, he says. Caulifla, go to Ruba's group, he tells her. What? I thought we would get to pick our own group, she says. In an instant, Vegeta has transformed into a Super Saiyan and grabbed her by her hair, telling her not to argue with him, sending quite a shock through the entire crowd. Ruba then steps up, telling Vegeta it'd be better if he didn't use this form. How? Vegeta demands. Did I hear right? Who allowed you to call me by my name? Whispers begin to hover through the crowd as the Saiyans begin to doubt and question Vegeta and how he chooses to get things done here. You all be quiet, Ganel says. What are those whispers for? Do you realize the lack of respect he's showing us? Lyric says to her. That's not the point, she replies. Reacting like that is inappropriate for a proper Saiyan soldier. Such behaviors are unworthy of us. Although, if this Vegeta has an issue with us, I guess he'll have to deal with 2 big issues then, Ruba says, getting up as well now, with Lyric following suit too. Aside from the king, everyone is skeptical about your ability to lead us, he says. What now? Vegeta says, offended. You're doubting my legitimacy? This is when he turns around and notices the doubtful faces throughout the entire crowd, skeptical Saiyans that he'll have to prove himself to. As Ruba, Lyric, and Geno ready themselves to approach Vegeta, Kaba tries his best to calm everyone down and defuse the situation before this goes way too far. But I highly doubt these Saiyans understand the flames of pride that they just fanned. "Quiet," Vegeta barks at Kaba. "You seem to forget who you're talking to." "I am Vegeta," he roars as his power explodes in the middle of planet Sadala. Vegeta has completely thrown caution to the wind, and in an effort to prove himself and demand respect from the rest of these Saiyans, he unleashes the power of Super Saiyan Blue Evolution to silence this troop for good before his words. "Now, come at me," he says, enraged and ready to crush this fleet of Saiyans himself if he has to, as Chapter 5 of Dragon Ball Kakumi comes to a close.